Hello, you're welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make a kimono with patch pockets and with a drawstring. You can see the drawstring attached at the side of the kimono. So if this is what you like to learn, let's get straight to the video. And don't forget to click on the subscribe button. You like and you share to your favorites. Let's dive right into the video. So I'll be using a Kampala fabric for this project, and I have 6 yards actually, but I cut out 2 yards and some inches for this kimono. So I have the fabric folded into 2 already, and what I did right now was to fold it into 2 again. So that means I practically folded the fabric into 4. I have it on 4 foot now because we are going to cut both the front and the back at the same time. That side I'm pointing right now will serve as the side. The upper part will serve as the shoulder line, while the one facing me will serve as the center. That is the folded part. Remember, my fabric is folded into 4, so I'm going to use the whole of the length as my shoulder, which is 20 inches. So from the side, I'll go down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'll use a ruler to connect it back to the center, like so. Then I'll cut it out. So the next thing to do now is to measure the round sleeve opening, like how you want the opening to be. So I measured 13 inches for my own. Then I mark the line. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to input the bust measurement. I'm going to use my largest measurement. In this aspect, my largest measurement is my hip measurement, which is 40 inches. I'll divide it by 4, which gave me 10 inches plus 6 inches, that is 16 inches. So I'm going to input 16 inches. Then for the neck measurement, the width I used 3.5 inches for the width of the neck. Then for the depth, that is the back depth, I used 1.5 inches. Then I'll connect it. Then I'll cut it out. We'll work on the front neck later. Remember, we are going to slit the front part. So the next thing I did was to measure the length of the kimono. So for this particular one, I used 39 inches. You can decide to use the whole length if you wish to. So I just used 39 inches. The actual length is 38 inches plus extra 1 inch, which is 39 inches. Then I'll just cut it out. Then for the 16 inches I measured as the bust measurement. That's what I'll measure at the down part also. So I'll just connect the 2 lines together using a ruler. Then after that, I'll give it a little curve at that sharp edge. Then I'll just follow the lines I drew and cut it out. And this is how it looks like. So for the round sleeve part, I'm going to add extra fabric to it, like 2 inches, so it's just to give it more beauty. It's not necessary, and make the sleeve longer as well. So I'll remove one part of the kimono, so we'll be able to work on the front part. So at the center line, I'm going to go in by ½ inches all the way to the down. So after that, I'll cut it out. Guys, this is the front. Still on the front neckline, after separating it, we measure the neckline. Remember, we measured initially 1.5 inches, so I'll just place my tape there and I'll measure 7 inches, and I'll connect it back to the neck width. It's going to have a V neckline. So I have cut it out, and this is how it looks like. So I'm going to use this fabric for the, I don't know what I'm going to call it. You know, for the kimono jacket, we are going to add some fabric to the front parts. Yes, this is the fabric I'm going to use. The fabric is going to be 2.5 inches. So when I stitch with ½ inch, we are going to have 2 inches in total. So the next thing we're going to work on now, let's work on the pocket. The length of the pocket I used 9 inches for the length, and the width I used 8 inches. The same thing for both. So what we are going to do next now is to stitch it on the kimono, the front part of the kimono. So from the shoulder line on the front part of the kimono, I'll measure 18 inches. That's where my pocket is going to start from, and I'll go in by 3.5 inches. You can see, so that's where my pocket is going to start from. So I'll just place it on top like so. You can see, make sure it is straight. Then I'll pin it down and go ahead to sew it, leaving the upper parts where we are going to dip in our hand to. So I'll do the same on both sides as well. So after stitching it, I'll come and show you how it looks like. So I'm just cross checking whether the pocket is sitting where it's supposed to be. Make sure you cross check so that the pocket will not bend to one side. So I have finished stitching it, and this is how it looks like. This is the second side. You can see how it is looking. So the next thing I'll do now is to join the shoulders together. So this is the two fronts facing me right now. So I'll bring the back part and I'll just join the shoulders with 1/2 inch. After I've joined the shoulders, this is how it looks like, and I have ironed it as well. This is how it is looking. So this is the neckline. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to attach the rope, I don't know what to call it, to the front. I have already ironed it and I have 2.5 inches. If I stitch with 1/2 inch, I'm going to have 2 inches left. So I'm just going to start from the hem of one part. It will go through the neckline like so. You can see the neckline all over to the second part of the kimono. I have already done it and you can see how it looks like. You can see the stitch. This is it. This is the neck part. So the material is too colorful. As I was editing, I realized that it's not too obvious. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to do. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to work on the round sleeve area. Right here I have 2 inches. If I stitch with 1/2 inch, I'll have 1.5 inches left. After stitching it, this is how it looks like. You can see how the kimono is looking like for now. This is the center part. You can see how beautiful it is looking. So this is where I just finished stitching the round sleeve area. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to join the jacket together with 1 inch from the, I'll just follow the line from the round sleeve all the way to the down of the dress. I have done it already and this is how it looks like, but remember we are going to put a drawstring at the down of the dress. So what I'm going to do now is just to loosen small parts. So this is it. I have loosened both sides. So now the next thing we'll do now is to hem the down of the dress. We need to hem it before we attach the drawstring to it. So I'm going to hem it now. If you have reached this part of the video, thank you so much for staying. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button. So after I've hemmed it, what I'm going to do now is to join it back. You can see that I've hemmed it, so I'll just join it back with the same allowance I used earlier. So I have finished doing it and you can see how it looks like, and make sure you iron it properly. So now the stripe that we are going to use for the drawstring, I have already done it already. So now I measured, you can see here that I measured 10 inches. I did not use 10 inches. I later used 13 inches. So if you are doing yours, make sure you use 13 inches for yours. So I later used 13 inches. So what I'm going to do now, I marked the 13 inches. Then I'll just place the rope underneath the hem. You can see it underneath there. I'll just fold it a little bit and hem it. While stitching on it, make sure you don't stitch on the rope. So make sure the rope again is smaller. Mine is a little bit bigger. I found it difficult actually, but you can make your own rope smaller so you're not going to have any difficulty. So that's what I'm just doing right now. I'm pushing the rope inside. I'll bend it a little bit and I'll stitch on it. So what I'm doing right now, that is exactly the same thing I'll do for the other side. Exactly the same thing. So I'll finish it off camera and I'll come and show you the final look of the kimono. And this is the final look. You can see how it's properly forming the ruches by itself. So I did the other side of the jacket as well, and this is how it looks like. This is how it is looking. If you find this video helpful, do well to subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and thank you so much for watching to the end. See you in my next video. Bye.